Hi everyone, Bike Paulie. Today I'm going to do a video just talking about the newly announced Yamaha MT-09 SP. So this was announced this week by Yamaha. There's been talk about it in the press. This is motorcycle news that we're looking at here, and online it's been rumoured for quite a while now, but Yamaha finally announced it. In terms of changes, this is the SP model, similar to what Yamaha did with the MT-10 SP. There are some styling changes and a little bit of a performance change. So firstly, it's got the silver, blue, what Yamaha call carbon colour scheme, like the MT-10 SP, with the blue wheels, which I actually think looks pretty good. And it's got the gold forks, so they've changed the colour of the forks there at the front. It's got a blue stitched seat, or blue stitching on the seat, and where the instrumentation is in the handlebars, it's gone from silver handlebars to black, and a lot of the buttons are now all black. The display has kind of been inverted, so it's now a black background with white characters, as opposed to the standard one that is on the current model, which is just white background with black lettering on top. The main kind of difference between this model and the standard MT is the Öhlins rear suspension. So it's now got a remote adjustable Öhlins shock unit at the back, and you can adjust, I think it's a preload on that remotely. So obviously that's going to bump the price up quite a bit. You're going for top end suspension now on this bike, in terms of the rear suspension at least. And overall as a package, I think it looks pretty good. I'm not 100% certain the kind of modifications that they've done are exactly what was needed. I mean, a lot of people might question the suspension still on the standard bike, but so far I found it pretty good, and I know that they did change and upgrade the suspension from the original version of the MT-09. It now uses a shock from the XSR 900. So this one's gone one step further with the Öhlins rear shock. But to be honest, I think in an SP version, I would have probably been looking at something a little bit more kind of radical and making a few more changes rather than the colour scheme and the rear shock. So maybe if they'd gone for an Acropovic exhaust as standard, maybe LED indicators, maybe a full TFT screen for the dash. A lot of models now have gone for the full colour TFT screen, like the Triumph Street Triple. So I think that would have been an excellent feature to have. And yeah, I think there were probably quite a few other upgrades, and maybe even the tyres that they could have looked at, rather than just the suspension and a colour change. But I thought I'd do this video. That's only my opinion. Obviously it'd be interesting to hear what you guys think, so if you want to add that to your comments, or the comments below this video. But I've got some images from the website that Yamaha have put out, so I'm going to go through that and just basically detail what they've changed so far, and so you can see the images close up. These images then are pulled straight from the Yamaha website. The MT-09, all its spec for this SP version, all the spec and the features and all the images are on the website already, so you can take a look and see what you think on there as well. But in terms of the bike, it's due for release. I believe it's got a rough date of January. For now, no prices as of yet. But yeah, first off, with regards to the styling, I already thought it was an excellent looking bike. I think it's always had this kind of mean, aggressive stance, especially with the front LED lights and the way that the number plate hanger at the back, it kind of frees up the profile of the rear of the bike. I know not everybody likes the number plate hanger, but I always thought that kind of made it look even better, rather than a negative. And yeah, this model carries it on. I especially like the blue wheels. I think they look excellent, and I'd certainly be tempted, if I didn't have an MT-09 already, and depending on the price, I'd be happy with the colour scheme on this, although I also like the matte black version that I've got. I think that's really kind of stealth looking and kind of shows off all the lines on the bike, especially the tank. Sometimes you can't see it in these kind of pictures, but on the MT-09, for those of you who own it, I'll obviously know, but it's kind of got a nice sculpted tank, very angular. So yeah, styling wise it looks great. I think with the dash as well, again, with the inverted display, the black background, it kind of makes it even more aggressive, I guess. it's just a little bit disappointing that they've not gone with a full colour TFT dash, because I think on this bike it would have perfectly suited it and it would have maybe justified the price increase or going for an SP model over the standard. I can see why they've done it. You know, obviously it's probably down to cost, but also the front end of the MT09, they, I guess, have to restyle it again if they were to include that full screen display, because the space at the front is quite limited, and maybe they'd have to change the headlight cowl and so on, and I guess it's you know, further costs. So this model, they've kind of gone for the more of the styling change and a change to the rear shock. But yeah, I think a full colour TFT dash would have been good, and it would have kept it a little bit more in line with the latest Triumph Street Triple models. Again, that's just my opinion on this bike. The seat unit, you know, looks great with the stitching on there. It's difficult until you can see it in person, I guess, but it's a nice little added feature on there. In terms of the bike itself, the spec of the bike is exactly the same, so they've not changed anything with regards to the engine or the power. You're still getting the quick shifter, the slipper clutch, the traction control, the riding modes, everything that's on the standard current model. It's just, like I said, mainly a cosmetic change, and with the rear shock. And that's where I think probably they could have gone a little bit further, because I think personally the indicators are standard on this bike. They're pretty hefty, you know, they're a bit ugly. They could have gone maybe with thinner LED indicators, and maybe gone for an exhaust like the Akrapovic and put that on as standard on the SP. I know that Kawasaki on the Z900 recently, they had an option where you could pay a little bit extra, but it was still a big saving over the standard exhaust if you were to buy it and fit it yourself. And you could have the third party aftermarket exhaust fitted to the Z900, and I think it came with a screen. It was some kind of like performance model, so I think that might have been nice on the MT09 as well. But you know, again, it might depend a lot of this on what kind of pricing they're releasing this model at, and I guess if you're also in the market for one, will you be tempted to pay that more for the better suspension at the rear, as opposed to the standard model and the colour scheme? I think personally the suspension on the current model, though it's a little bit softer than my previous Street Triple, I wouldn't say it's too soft. In fact, I think it's a good ride. It's the ride quality is pretty good. It could be a little bit firmer, but I don't necessarily feel like that rear rolling shock was necessary, especially if it's going to really increase the price of this SP model. But like I said, that might have to be established first what the price is going to be. I know between the MT10 and the MT10 SP there is a big price difference, but that one's got fully adjustable Öhlins forks and shock, I believe, and that one's also got the full colour TFT screen. And I guess Yamaha have got to keep the price down a little bit, because if it goes any higher or gets closer to the MT10 pricing, then people might just be tempted to bypass this and go straight to the MT10. But yeah, again, this is just my thoughts on this, but I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. You know, would you be tempted to go for this SP model if you've got maybe the original MT09 and you want to upgrade, or maybe you're looking at changing from your current bike, which could be completely different to the MT09? You know, would you go for this SP version, or would you go for the standard model? And I think it'd be interesting to see what price they put it out at, because as you can see, or you might have seen or noticed on the first part of the video in the MCN, it was mentioning the MT07, which have also done an SP version of, and I know the MT07 is a really popular bike, so again it'll be interesting to see what price that is as opposed to the standard MT09. So yeah, if I find out any more news on this, I might do another video in future. Personally, for myself, I'm going to stick with my bike. I've got some more little upgrades I'm going to be making to the bike. I don't feel personally like the SP would warrant, you know, me at this stage trading in my bike for it, especially because I only got my bike towards the beginning of this year anyway. So I guess it's more aimed at people who don't have the MT09 yet. But yeah, hopefully you found the video useful. If you want to like and subscribe, I'll put some more videos out soon, and please ask away in the comments if you've got any questions, or if you want to just comment on this bike in general. As always, I'm not endorsed by Yamaha or anything like that. These are just my thoughts and opinions. Obviously the main bike I've got is the Yamaha MT09, so everything I put out on my channel will be about the MT09, and that's why I thought this would be of interest to maybe some of you that are watching.